That's my quarterback, man. That's my quarterback. And after this week's interview, Dak Prescott didn't just show us leadership. He sent a message loud and clear to Jerry Jones and the rest of the league. Welcome back to Attack Old Cowboys, and buckle up, because what we saw from QB1 this week wasn't just another media appearance. This was a calculated, composed, confident quarterback talking like a man who knows the weight on his shoulders and isn't backing down from it one bit. Now, first things first, let's talk about the return of CeeDee Lamb. You could see it in Dak's body language. You could hear it in his voice. He knows exactly what this means. CeeDee coming back adds that extra gear to the offense, and Dak didn't hesitate to say it. The guy looks ready. Maybe even could have gone last week, but they're being careful. Smart. But that smile from Dak when he talked about CeeDee, you could tell. He knows they're about to cook. And Dak made it crystal clear. He's not here to force-feed anyone. It's about taking what the defense gives, keeping it within the structure, and staying true to the read. But at the same time, you can tell the game plan's designed to make sure CeeDee gets his touches. When you have a playmaker like that, it's not about force, it's about precision. And that's where Dak is right now. He's playing some of the smartest football of his career because it's not just about arm talent anymore. It's about vision, timing, discipline, and trust in the system. Now, when asked about the inconsistency of the team, whether he was surprised by the ups and downs, Dak gave a veteran answer. But there was a little edge to it, too. We're 6 games in, he said, almost as if to remind everyone. Calm down, we're still in the thick of it. And he's not wrong. This league is built on parity, and identity doesn't come overnight. But Dak didn't make excuses. He acknowledged the gaps. He said it plain. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, and they know there's work to be done. But more than that, he believes in the locker room. And that belief, coming from your quarterback, it matters. Now here's where it got really interesting. When Dak started talking about the defense, he didn't deflect. He didn't throw anyone under the bus. He said what a leader says, I practice against them. I know them. That's a quarterback standing up for his guys, even when the numbers don't look great. He admitted they're frustrated. He said they're pissed. But that's not criticism. That's expectation. That's what accountability sounds like when it's rooted in belief. You could tell, though, he knows the offense has to carry more weight right now. And he's okay with that. He said it's their standard. Not pressure, not burden, standard. And that's powerful, man. That's how championship teams are built. Not by pointing fingers, but by saying, if something's got to give, let it be me. Let me carry it. Now don't let this calm delivery fool you. Dak knows exactly how urgent things are. When asked about the matchup with the Commanders, his tone shifted. He didn't dance around it. He said straight up, we got to win this game. No fluff. No filters. And he's right. The NFC East isn't going to wait for anyone. If the Cowboys are serious about contending, these are the games you absolutely have to take care of. And Dak knows it. One of the most telling parts of the whole interview, though, was when Dak started talking about George Pickens. Let's talk about this dynamic real quick. George stepped up when CeeDee was out, and Dak recognized it. He gave the man his flowers, said George didn't just perform. He asked for more responsibility. That's a wide receiver who wants it. And now that CeeDee's back, Dak made it clear. This offense just got way more dangerous. And look, you could feel it. He wants this duo to stay together. When asked if he's going to Jerry to make sure George stays a Cowboy, Dak didn't say no. In fact, he said they've had a little talk about it already. Man, that's what you love to hear. That's your quarterback advocating for his weapons. That's a guy thinking about long-term chemistry, not just one season. And with CeeDee and George out there together, lining up anywhere on the field, this is something Dallas hasn't had since Amari Cooper and a young CeeDee. But now it's different. These two are dynamic, versatile, and they feed off each other. And Dak's smart enough to know, this is rare. You don't let that go. Let's not overlook this part either. Dak sees the bigger picture. He mentioned Joe Flacco and how he's still slinging it at 40. And that wasn't a throwaway comment. That was Dak reminding everyone, the best quarterbacks, the real pocket generals, they age like fine wine. He's looking ahead. He's not just trying to be the quarterback today. He's trying to build something that lasts. You give him weapons, you give him protection, and you'll have him for another decade. That's the mindset. That's the level he's playing at right now. And with every answer, you could feel it. This is the most control Dak's ever had at the line of scrimmage. He's orchestrating out there. He's making checks, manipulating the defense, reading the safeties, shifting protections. This isn't a guy running plays. This is a guy commanding the offense. And the team trusts him to do it. There's a rhythm, a flow, a confidence that comes from repetition and deep understanding. Dak isn't guessing out there. He's knowing. And let's be real, that level of command, that doesn't happen by accident. That's film room. That's reps. That's chemistry with your play caller. And it was beautiful to hear him talk about that relationship, how the OC gives him the play and trusts him with it. No micromanaging, no hand-holding, just belief. That kind of freedom, that kind of trust, that's how elite quarterbacks are made. But Dak didn't stop there. He owned the run game too. After a rough performance last week, just 31 yards on the ground, he didn't shy away from it. He said it clear, I gotta do my job, get us in the right place, make the right checks. That's ownership. That's accountability. He's not throwing shade at the line or the backs. He's saying, I'm the quarterback. I lead this, and it's on me to make it work. And man, how about the way he talked about Tyler Booker coming back? You can tell he respects that guy, not just as a player, but as a pro. He gave props to the guy who filled in, but he's hyped to have Tyler back. That chemistry matters. And in the trenches, that kind of trust can be the difference between a 2-yard gain and a house call. And if that first half of the interview showed us Dak the leader, this next part showed us Dak the technician, the strategist, the quarterback who's no longer reacting to defenses, he's dictating to them. When asked about going up against someone like Bobby Wagner, a future Hall of Famer who can diagnose plays before the snap like a machine, Dak didn't flinch. He spoke about using Wagner's own strength against him, showing him certain looks, and then flipping the script post-snap. That's next-level stuff. That's not just XS and OS. That's mental warfare at the line of scrimmage. And the way Dak described it, it's clear he thrives in those moments. There's almost a twinkle in his eye when he's talking about disguising plays, about having that back-and-forth chess match. That's what great quarterbacks live for. That's where games are won before the ball is even snapped. It's also where you see how deeply Dak is invested in this game. He's not out there relying on athleticism or just hoping plays develop. He's studying. He's prepping. He's anticipating. The best part? His teammates are right there with him. He said it himself. It's not just him making adjustments and pre-snap reads. It's the entire offense understanding the shifts, the tendencies, the situational football. That's culture. That's what separates high-functioning units from talented but inconsistent ones. And that's something the Cowboys have been chasing for years, sustainable, repeatable excellence. You could hear how excited Dak was talking about the freedom he's got at the line. And you could tell he's earned it. That trust doesn't come from one good game or a hot stretch. That comes from years of reps, from showing your coaches you can handle it, from getting burned and learning from it. And now, he's stepping into the peak of his mental game. He sees the field differently. He recognizes defensive disguises, he diagnoses pressure packages, and most importantly, he adapts in real time. That's the evolution of a quarterback. And what we're watching right now might just be the most complete version of Dak Prescott we've ever seen. The way he talked about facing off against Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., guys he's worked with closely, practiced against, built relationships with, that was another layer to all of this. There was a level of respect, even excitement, in Dak's voice. It's not just another matchup to him. This is a mental battle between minds who know each other inside and out. He acknowledged that Joe has left his fingerprints all over that defense. You could tell Dak has already started thinking about how to counter it. And when a quarterback says, I see things they used to throw at me in practice showing up on tape as part of their base defense, that's a man who knows exactly what he's walking into. He's not preparing for a random opponent. He's preparing for a familiar chess rival. And that changes everything. But then the energy shifted again. Because when asked about the pressure on the offense, with the defense struggling, with every possession feeling like it has to end in points, Dak kept it real. He didn't dodge the question. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He said it flat out. It's our standard. That's what being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys is all about. You set the tone. You accept that responsibility. And you never make excuses. Dak made it clear, they're not scoring out of obligation. They're scoring because that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they believe they can do every time they touch the ball. And even when they come off the field after a field goal instead of a touchdown, they're pissed. Not because someone told them to be, but because that's the bar they've set for themselves. And if you're wondering whether that mentality is real or just words, believe this. You could hear it in the way Dak talked about their red zone mindset. The urgency, the drive, the internal accountability. He said it best. It's not about being pressured to make up for the defense. It's about refusing to settle for less than they know they're capable of. That's the DNA of elite players. That's not coaching. That's not scheme. That's pride. There was one moment that really stood out. When Dak was asked if he feels like the offense has to score every time they get the ball. He didn't hesitate. He said, "I feel like I need to score every time. I feel like I need to complete every pass." That's not delusion. That's expectation. That's the mindset you have to have if you want to wear that star on your helmet and lead this team. You can call it unrealistic. You can call it obsessive. But that's what separates the great ones. They don't accept failure, even when it's inevitable. And that mentality? That's infectious. That spreads through a locker room and turns a good team into a dangerous one. There's also this sense, listening to Dak, that he's reached a place of peace with who he is as a quarterback. He's not trying to be flashy. He's not trying to prove anything to anyone outside the building. He knows what he brings. He knows how to lead. And he knows what this team needs from him right now. That kind of clarity doesn't come easy. It takes years of criticism, big moments, brutal losses, and quiet film sessions long after everyone else has gone home. But Dak's been through all of that. And now, he's speaking from a place of wisdom. He knows what this team is capable of, and he's going to do everything in his power to make sure they get there. He even talked about the headset communication during games, something fans don't often think about. And again, you could hear the confidence. He doesn't need reminders. He doesn't need the OC in his ear spelling out every adjustment. He's done the work. They've repped it all week. By the time Sunday rolls around, he's just executing. That's what being a true field general looks like. You don't just recite the play call. You own it. You understand the why behind it. And you anticipate what's coming next. And the best part? Dak isn't satisfied. When asked how he can help improve the run game after last week's brutal performance, he didn't point fingers. He talked about his role, his job, getting them into the right looks, making the right reads, selling his fakes, setting the tone. That's what leaders do. They take responsibility for everything, even the stuff that technically isn't on them. Because at the end of the day, it's all connected. If the run game fails, the whole offense feels it. And Dak knows that. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL world, Terry McLaurin, the star wide receiver for the Washington Commanders, is reportedly leaving the nation's capital, and rumor has it, he's headed straight for the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, you read that correctly. The man who has been the cornerstone of Washington's offense, dazzling fans with his speed, hands, and playmaking ability, might soon be donning the iconic silver and blue instead of burgundy and gold. Sources close to the situation claim talks between McLaurin and the Cowboys front office have been very serious, hinting that an agreement could be imminent. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the NFL rumor mill is already in overdrive. Social media is ablaze with fans speculating how McLaurin's arrival could shake up the NFC East and what it means for both teams' futures. Cowboys enthusiasts are dreaming of high-flying passes connecting with McLaurin, imagining him as the missing link to elevate their offense to a new level. Meanwhile, Commanders fans are understandably reeling. Losing McLaurin would be a massive blow, both on and off the field. He has been more than a receiver. He's been a symbol of hope, a relentless competitor, and a crowd favorite. Speculation is mounting that this move could signal a larger shift in Washington's roster strategy, perhaps indicating a rebuild or a pivot toward younger talent. Analysts are already weighing the potential impact. Could McLaurin and Dak Prescott form one of the league's deadliest duos? Would the Cowboys' offense become unstoppable? Or could this be one of those rumors that fizzles out, leaving fans hanging in suspense? One thing is certain. If this transfer happens, it would go down as one of the most talked about moves of the season. As of now, everyone is waiting with bated breath. Will McLaurin truly leave Washington behind to chase glory in Dallas? Or is this just another tantalizing story from the rumor mill? Only time will tell, but the buzz is undeniable, and the NFL universe is watching every twist and turn in this unfolding saga. Stay tuned. This one isn't over yet. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.